Hi, it's Kim. I'm back with our second card for the January card class. And I'm using for this one my favorite celebration freebie stamp set, and that is the Friendly Seagulls. These skulls are just so darn cute. I've seen so many fun things done with this stamp set. So we're just going to do just a simple layout. And again, I'm making use of that Marbled Elegance Designer Series paper as a background, and then just adding in some seagulls with a die cut shape. And you can use this layout with any of your smaller stamp sets that you have, and also with any of your die cuts or punched shapes too. We have a trio here. We have a triangle, a visual triangle, and that's always a good artistic way to put things together, even when you're not an artist, to use that visual triangle. Now, before I glue on my Designer Series paper, I'm actually going to remember to tie my bow on first. Now, you can always add a bow afterwards if you forget, but this is one of my favorite ways to do a bow and save a little bit on cardstock as well. This is also a celebration freebie. This is the let's see, it's the seam binding ribbon. So I just cut I think a 4-inch piece and a 5-inch piece, and I think I will use my tear and tape for this, because I like to just put my if I can find where I put there it is, my ribbon, not tie my ribbon around the whole thing. I think that saves a little bit on your ribbon, so I like to put a little piece across here, and also then you can use it as your adhesive. Might as well put it on the whole card. Use that as your adhesive for the card as well. So let me burnish that a little bit and then see if I can pick the ends off of my tear and tape. So I'm going to do the two sides first, because I want to do my ribbon first. So we'll do the two sides. And I want room for my little French fry sentiment there, because that is so fun. Okay, so my bigger piece is this one. Okay, I'm going to stretch that across. And you can do this anytime you're doing ribbon that you want to put across a whole piece. Just put your adhesive down and then stretch it across, but don't do it crooked like I just did. Try to get it straight, and then when you put then you can go ahead and put your piece right down on your card front, because you're going to add the bow at the end. I mean, you could put the bow on first, but it's a little bit easier to do it this way, and then just slip your 4-inch piece in there and tie your knot. Actually, it's going to be a knot, not a bow. A knot, not a bow. So there's my cute little knot, and you can trim up the edges if you want to make them even. But just a real simple way to do a bow. And I just noticed that I need one more stamp out here, because I have French fries, but I don't have the I love you more than out. I think they did them separately, because we also operate in Great Britain, and they call French fries chips. And so, do you know what they call chips? What we call chips, they call crisps, I believe. So, even though we speak the same language, we have some different words there that are fun. Okay, I love you more than French fries. So I use the perennial postage dies for my visual triangle here. So I'm going to have my sentiment's going to go on this one, and my seagull is going to go on this one, and then my fries are going to go on this one. So let's just get my stamping done real quick, and then I'm going to put those on with Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, fries, sentiment, seagull. Oh, and I just forgot one thing I wanted to do. Hang on one second. And I'm just going to grab a marker here real quick. I didn't do any coloring at all in my sample, but I'm like, hey, our special for celebration for joining this time is 2 whole sets of markers for free in your starter kit. So why not make use of that? So brush end or the thicker tip there would make some cute French fries. I could even color my seagull a little bit too. Oh, his feet should definitely be yellow. Oh, his beak. Let's make his beak yellow too. So just adding a little bit of extra touch with the markers. And I do like the regular markers for small images like this. They work fine. When I'm using bigger images, I like the Stampin' Blends alcohol markers because they are just easier to work with and they blend better. But when you've got just a small little bit like that, the regular markers are great, and they're also great for stamping on, coloring directly on your stamps and stamping so you can get multiple colors. So there's all sorts of things you can do with the Stampin' Right markers. And like if you're going someplace and you don't want to carry around all your ink pads, just bring the markers. They take up a lot less space, and you can scribble with a marker on your acrylic block and then pick up the color with a blending pen to color as well. So there's lots of fun things and fun techniques to do with them. So I don't know why I have mini dimensionals out here, but I guess you can get a lot more mileage if you use the mini ones, right? So, and then you have all the pieces around the edge you can use as well. So anyhow, this seagull really makes me smile because he's just so funny. And he's just like those seagulls at the beach. If you live in Erie and get to Presque Isle, those seagulls, they come around and they want to see if you have any goodies for them, but you can't feed them because otherwise they become pests. Okay, now a few sequins. These are also a celebration freebie. You can see I've used a lot of them already, but they're called purple, I think purple sequins, but they come in 4 shades, well, white and 3 shades of purple, and you can just throw some sequins on wherever you would like. Find some empty spaces here, and we'll throw a few on. One there, and I'm using some different colors to try the different colors. All right, just adds a little bit more sparkle along with that beautiful marbled elegance paper with the gold accents. So really simple card and a fun layout with a visual triangle and a fun little ribbon technique for you guys. So that's it for this card. There's my blog if you want to see more projects, and I'm going to get set up for the next card. Happy crafting!